Welcome to your reading for June 2024, the first 2 weeks. Thank you for being here, Virgo. Just want to take a moment to just clear the space so you can also receive these clearing vibes so that you may be present for this reading. Thank you for being here. My name is Crow. Just calling in the energy of the divine for this reading. Thank you. All right, Virgo, there's something that's going to be highlighted to you that you don't see coming. And the first 2 weeks of June, it's like where there might have been fear that you didn't want to see. It's like, no, I don't want to see, like pulling the covers over your head type of energy that you have been going through. The first 2 weeks of June are going to be a little bit more supportive so that you don't feel so fearful, because sometimes we ask to see the truth and it can be really hard. So it feels like for you that is definitely coming to a head. And that you're willing now, right? You're willing, and that's the most important part for us to see the truth, that you're willing to see it now. So offering yourself some compassion, some nurturing, some care, some it's like you have to be your own cheerleader right now, Virgo. And during these times, it's not easy, but it's worth it. I'm a little dyslexic, so sometimes I say things backwards. All right. Right, it doesn't have to be challenging to see the truth. When we feel balanced, when we feel supported, when we feel secure, when we know that even though it feels like the rug is being pulled out from underneath of us, it doesn't necessarily always mean what you think it means. Okay, so we have some animals that are going to be of service to you and some energies that you can tap into. The first is the armadillo. The armadillo urges you to reaffirm your boundaries, okay? And oftentimes we think of boundaries just from the outside, like, no, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. But the thoughts that you entertain need some refining, need some fine tuning. So there's places in your mind that you've allowed yourself to go that are no longer beneficial for you. And, they are wreaking some sort of havoc. They have an impact in your life. Maybe you don't see it right away, but in the long term, it's not helpful. So an exercise that you can easily do is this thought relevant for what I want to accomplish in my life? Is this thought the dominant force that is going to define my legacy? If the answers are no, then you got to keep it moving. Brain training, we're so distracted by so many different things. So saying no to distractions, knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes. It's very basic, but it's not easy. In practice. So reaffirming and reevaluating your boundaries where you are right now, orienting yourself. And not feeling guilty. Like, I can sense that some of you are feeling guilty, and this is why you've sort of stopped the process of laying down boundaries with others specifically. But here's when you get to practice boundaries with yourself. When you start to feel like guilty, is that relevant to where you want to go? No, not necessarily. Yes, you can acknowledge that you feel that way, but you're going to have to build a tolerance to that discomfort. Otherwise, you're going to bend until you break, Virgo. So next we have horse. So horse is all about your power, all right? Affirming your boundaries makes you feel powerful. There's no other way to say it. And it's meant to make you feel powerful. It's meant to, you have the power to control your thoughts. You have the power to control your mind. You have the power to change your life. Okay? It's as simple as that. When you're able to do that, it's like think of how the qualities of horse, they're one of the most sensitive beings, okay? They're like the empath. They're the empaths of, human companions and in the animal kingdom. And so they're like the avatar energy, the energy of running, taking care of yourself. When horses aren't running, they're grazing. So if you feel like, Virgo, you need to run away from your problems, away from the situations, away from things, like, you don't always have to do that. And it's okay for you to stop, to listen to that quiet. The quiet that is clearing the energy in the space. Right? And when things are clear, they have potency. And when you listen to these things, this is where your moves actually mean something. You're sputtering around doing all these moves and you're thinking you're busy, and it's like, you're not doing shit, bro. Or sis. Or whatever you're called. But when you make moves, one move, boom, full of your presence, it makes ripples. We also have the crow, okay? And, I don't talk about the crow lightly because I've had to go through so many different spiritual initiations to work with this crow medicine. It is a harder energy, meaning that it represents the laws of the universe. So being within integrity, being a person who cares about order in your life and in your world, it's like, clean up your room, Virgo. Clean up, crows are not dirty. The animals, they don't soil their nest. They're clean birds. Changing how you view yourself and your reflection, the downside of this is this, like, or the shadow element, which you can be mindful of and wary of, is this, like, how you view yourself, how you're looking, you're obsessed with your own reflection and your own self-image. And so that can prevent you from doing these things because, these people thought that I was this way. What's going to happen when they don't? Like, that's irrelevant, right? Let's go back to the boundaries. Irrelevant. Keep it moving. And you have the ability to tap into magic and working with the laws of the universe, because there's more than just the law of attraction. There's a law of time, the law of cause and effect, the law of magnetism, the law of, compassion. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on. A law of electricity. So, understanding for yourself, like, the undercurrent of how the universe works, how it really works in real time. And, whether you're privileged or you're not, law works the same for everyone. And I think that's something that we can find solace in these days. Harnessing your ability to master yourself and be able to go from the void. Crow makes the journey from the void to reality, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, And so think of that. Your ability to create in June, you can tap into that energy. Spending time in nature, spending time in, when crows, they just fucking go after things. They're like, they swoop in and they take what's there. So owning what is rightfully yours. What is rightfully yours is your gifts, your abilities, your gift of life that you've walked in here with, and maybe you've forgotten that, Virgo, but that's okay. Remind yourself, fortify your mind, create boundaries, right? Willingness is also a boundary. It says come in, which is a boundary that you have chosen to open. What else do we have for Virgo? Rest assured, the things that you thought that were in your way are going to be moved out of your way. And it's a chance for you to clear this guilt that you've been carrying around, Virgo. Like, accept who you are and let that change you. Let yourself be changed. Because at a certain point, like, that's going to catch up to you. And right now you can embrace it. It feels like the door is opening where you can embrace that. I don't know if some of you are like coming out of the closet, or if there's some like really sensitive identity things that you're going through in your life. But right now it feels like a time where you don't have to hide from that, who you are, or who you're exploring yourself to be, right? It's not finite. We're never like, boom, there's a stamp and this is who I am forever. This is all that I have to offer the world. It's like, no, that is not how things really work. That's not how law works. That's not how it works. So getting a higher form of knowledge is going to help for your evolution in life, Virgo. I hope that this helps. And if you like this content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for being here, and peace.